All your minis? Minis? Do I have everyone's minis? I have these guys. Oh shit, come here. Those guys, these guys, the other guys. Alright. Let me make sure I got everyone's minis here. I got 2 of you. And the rest of you are on here? Yes, you surely are. Just I got some Beatles in the bus. So I'm pretty sure there should be. What else we got? Him, good. There's the Pasha and Zivazir. Zivazir. And you are currently a few plates down, care of, you're currently missing member, or rather one of your missing members roll. Hi there. Other than that, Beatles, dice, and Play-Doh. Golden. And, I mean, we have a shell, but we'll just put that over there. We don't need that right now. I do believe we have horses. Good. Welcome back, everybody, to another exciting episode of Black Thumb, the fast-paced, rock'em-sock'em post-apocalyptic adventure that is featured in Calimshan, the great race that takes you from one end to the other, back again and all around, is made up of several teams, of which our players are one of those teams. A gang once upon a time, a race team now, with nitrous under their feet where once there might have been horses, and in their hands, all sorts of massive guns and glory at stake. We join them once again as they head out against the next leg, continuing their fast-paced journey to the southernmost tip of this great desert, a place known as Teshburl, a naval city where the great race will see their next objective. They currently sit somewhere in the middle of this great desert, heading towards that objective in the distance. And with that, my man, Sean again, once again, could you please regale us with what happened last episode on Black Thumb?
Sure. When we open up here at the gates of Dash Gen, getting ready for the next leg of the race, Kumita is in the driver's seat, and the pace lizard or dragon takes off. We see a worm or a bird in the distance, but Kumita knows about this. We look around the bus. We have Barian is riding alongside Kumita. Laz is manning the cannon. Bjorn's on the ballista. Sork is chilling on top, having a bite of food. And Ike is on top of the bus as well. We take a launch off in the desert. We hit a couple of bumps. In the process, we lose an armor plate, mostly from Mo's doing. Orion calls it out, and Barry is pretty pissed off about that. The Dragors... Oh, I'm getting feedback now.
Oh, sorry. I just did a new share that shares my audio. Are you getting your voice back to you?
I was.
Oh, is it still doing it?
Not anymore.
Okay. Seems to have cleared that up.
All right. So the Dragors are passing us on a rather large vehicle, and another bus comes in right alongside of us. The Dragors finally veer off to the right, taking off in another direction. Koda points out that we are leading up to holy ground as statues start to pass by us in rapid succession. At one point, we go for a pit maneuver to take out the back of the other truck. But the back of the other truck opens up and shows that there are a number of individuals inside ready for a brawl. Bjorn casts Shatter on the other truck riders and blows them off from all to hell. Barry takes Kumita, tells Kumita to take the other truck driver out. Laz gets off the shot with a cannon, we clip a statue, and then Laz is immobilized again, which is the theme of this entire episode. The other truck hits the statue straight on, lacing us with all the statue bits. The bus is squealing in the left rear axle, and it feels like we're pulling something along. We lose yet another armor plate in the process. Kumita turns left into the back of the other truck. Bjorn hits the other vehicle with a ballista. Sorth gets up and shoots the truck and hits with his longbow, some pretty steady damage. And Koda keeps the bus steady. We pull closer. The Dragonborn jump onto the top of the other bus, while a dude with 2 knives jumps across onto ours and hits Sorth. Dragonborn uses his pistols on Bjorn for 15 points of damage. The other vehicle pulls out in front of us again. The back of the truck opens up again. The other person jumps onto our bus. Orion tells Koda to put the brakes on. Laz goes flying. Sorth goes flying. And we barely hang on. There's an enemy on the hood holding on to Laz. Ike knocks the guy hanging on Laz, and then Laz tells Kumita to drive forward, run over the dude in front of us, and Barry tells Kumita to kick it down a little. Laz checks on Kumita and slaps Orion for telling him to slam on the brakes. Kumita mentions getting to Nightfall and getting past the temples. We decide we don't want to stop in and see the priests. Kumada doesn't know what to expect. Ryan and Barry are trying to talk him up a little bit. Barry's taking a nap. Laz is taking a nap. We see the temple in the distance and cut to seeing Mo at the temple learning question mark kung fu or joining a cult. Getting ready to go out in the desert. He's getting water skins, sword, bow, dagger, leather jerkin. Vultures in the distance are circling around something. We pass through a town, a house. We see a corpse out in front of the house. Barry wakes up from a nap and takes over the driving so Kumada can take a nap. Orion shows Barry the key from the lockbox. Mentions Sophie had one just like it, and they're trying to figure out what the key is for as the sun rises. Kumada takes the sticks when he wakes up. Bjorn slept tied to the ballista upstairs. Laz tried to learn how to tie himself to the cannon. Oh, he learned it all right. We'll find out about that later. Keep passing through the ruins in the desert, past the town of ruins and everyone there, but everything is desiccated. Kumada is officially lost. We see banners by a mine in the hills and looks pretty beat up. Orion says we don't care, we just gotta keep moving. Laz goes up to see what he can see. Kumada thinks he sees a way out, and we see large black things, winged, hard shell, picking over the corpses. We're getting attacked by a swarm of these beetles. Kumada gets the vehicle rolling back to the open road, looks behind, the bugs are still coming. Kumada says it's got to be the meat that Sorth has stored all over our bus. Laz fails to grapple with Sorth. Orion lures Sorth away with a piece of meat, and Sorth hits Orion. The insects are working their way into the bus through all the open cracks. Well, the plates that we lost, Ike stabs one of them. Orion throws some meat out. Kumada hits a dune, and the swarm comes into the hatch. Bjorn casts Spirit Guardians and kills a bunch, and we all get hit with the carapaces as they blow up. Kumada is picking up speed. We see a Dragor firing on the beat on the giant beetle. Laz closes the hatch and readies his hand axes. Meanwhile, Kumada is hit with a large beetle shell. He's dead. Or is he? He gets healed. We start filling the cannon with meat because that makes sense. Laz is on top. Clear up a few beetles. One gets back on top and one gets back on the windshield. Sorth readies meat. Readies a meat arrow. Barry takes the controls from Ike and Barry gets bust straightened out. Laz fails the deck save again and is again prone and incapacitated. Barry pulls aside the Dragor bus. Ike swings Laz around. Laz has to load finish loading the cannon. Orion loads beat on the ballista. The beetles keep swarming. The flying form in the distance is, I guess, Lord Drago. Kumada goes to the first aid kit and gets back up to the cockpit. Bjorn moves the meat closer to the hatchway and moves into a corner. The meat cannon is finally shot out, and the beetles all swoop into it. As we closed, we were pulling into the city. There were fires, explosion, chanting. Mo, our former compatriot, is leading a protest in the city of Teshburl. The city is on fire, and we all ended up with 1,100 experience.
Right on. Very nice, thank you, sir. And with that, I want to just mention that that last bit is, of course, next time on, which, as you may have noticed, the last time I did that is wildly inaccurate. But you know, it was, some elements are accurate. I mean, there was involvements with the Dragor and shooting and such. Can you guys hear the music? I mean, I got AC going over here, so I'm not sure if you can hear anything but AC from coming from over here.
Here.
So with that said, I'm going to turn up my volume over here. And I want to turn you guys down, but it actually turns you down in the stream as well, and I don't want to do that. Like, what do you do? Anyway. So, indeed you do see the Dragors floating down on the horizon as the tires squeal in the sand, screeching, the engines roaring, sand billowing all around the battle bus as you rage down a sloping dune, a long trek, ever so easy on this angle as you all find yourselves sliding somewhat sideways and downwards along this long dune as you get lined up on the shot. The Dragors roaring down in their massive tires, easily holding steady as they unwaveringly hold down towards the bottom of the slope, however far away, maybe half a mile or so, as the sun holds high overhead, beating down upon you, sweat whipping off of you as the wind blasts against you, holding yourself as steady as you can, your grip tight against whatever you might be holding. your gaze held tight against whatever target you have in mind. And as the moment rolls around, I do believe we're going to pick up the same initiative we had last session, gentlemen, because we didn't have a Thursday game. So, with that said, Orion, my man, the camera pans in slow against you. Actually, if you will. It pans in slow against the whole of the bus, showing each of you where you last were. Do you each remember your last position upon this bus?
I'm pretty sure Sorth was still inside.
Barium was driving.
Oh, wasn't Sorth taking that shot?
Oh yeah, right. He took a shot. So yeah, I'm up high.
Okay, so you're taking the shot with your bow, though, currently.
He was taking that epic shot. I think we could re-roll for that.
Yeah, I took the final meat shot and I hit the driver or something.
Oh yeah, it went through the
window, yeah.
Yeah, through an open an air hole, open window of some sort. Very good. Okay, and then as you said, Barium is driving. Rick, Barium is currently driving while what's his pickle? Kumata is coming to after having himself a panic attack, or what? No, he got hit in the neck. That's right, by the beetle shell. So take the beetle shell.
Impaled.
Yeah, that's right. And he died, but you guys saved him because good on you. Need a driver after all. With that said, he's coming to, and he's begun his protest, if you recall. There's Laz, where are you situated, is on the top. What are you up to?
Lance is up on top, and I already shot the meat out. I guess I'll.
That was when you were shooting the cannon, so you're over at the cannon. That's right. Okay, so
yes,
we'll put you there. We'll put you there properly. These guys are not this close. I just want to mention these guys are not that close. So you can't actually see that. So let's get this all set up. But then Bjorn, you're up at the top. No, you were not. You were inside.
I was inside protecting the drivers.
That's right. So you're up holding in the entryway of the cab. Kumata's coming too, as you can easily see, and Barium is doing fine driving. Relatively fine driving. Then we finally have Sorth. Nope, that's everybody. Okay, cool. With that said, with that all said, we will go like this. I like that. Like this, like this. Actually, hold up. I'm going to do a little bit of this, this. So, as I said, it's a big sloping thing. Agility. Do this. Do that. Do that. Do that. Do that. Alright. There you go. Come in. Yep, kid. Up and over.
We need a moment of silence for the New York Islanders.
Are they just dying?
Say it to nothing.
Woo! Holy shit! It's a hockey game?
Yep.
Wow!
It is brutal.
Maybe that'll be motivation for Game 6.
They've been back and forth with that. They've been showing up and playing hard, and then just like crapping out the next game.
It's because they get their contracts threatened, give a shit, and then forget that they should give a shit next game.
They did show up to the game, right?
And that's saying something.
Cody, is that where you get the idea for the Laz and
Mariah
maneuver?
That's right. Pretty much.
And here I thought it was Mad Max. Now I see where Mad Max got its inspiration, right? Alright. That's about right. Unfortunately, I got a rock lodged in the bottom of this, so I can't do the little stand on it. So that sucks. But it is what it is, right? I need a tube for this.
Your middle camera is like dead at the moment.
That's kind of a cool angle. Fuck a selfie of you.
What always happens with this one when I tug on this wire, no matter how much tape I put around it to like hold it together, it'll still come loose. I don't want to tie them because then I'd cause them to bust connection, but c'est la vie. Oh, hang on. No. There. And then I gotta do all this again. Because of course I do. I can tell you. There. No, I want that autoed. Cool. So as it were. We watch them down low as you guys are coming flying down the hill. From overhead, we see you guys lined up. The Draeger's situated just off in the distance. Some maybe 40, 50 feet away. Barium, as you're holding onto the wheel, you can feel the sand giving under all the wheels. Despite having 6 of them, the sand is still loose. And you find that you're still pulling off to the one side. I need you to throw yourself a, I'd say a strength check to just hold her steady. So this is athletics, I should say. I always forget that, sorry.
Wait, that sucks so bad. You want me to roll athletics?
Yeah, go ahead and roll athletics.
Just take that roll.
I just rolled a d20. On strength, though.
Just add your bonus. Your athletics bonus.
So I mean, it's the same roll. It's 21, but so nat 20.
So you hold on to it. As you grip against the wheel and slide ever so slightly, you decide to plow in, taking control of the tread, and with a little bit of scooping action, manage to bring yourself closer in. And as you do this, you watch as in behind, your sand starts to kick up like crazy as you manage to scoop that shit out from underneath the battle bus. You guys on top watch as everything seems to smoothen out in the moment. You have no issues holding position, as everything is as if you were on the prow of a sailing ship on calm water, flying through this golden sea that's sloping away. As the Draegors in the distance suddenly receive the airmail you sent them with a unceremonious but ever so satisfactory slap of wet meat, it exploding against their hull. You all hear the incredible buzzing noise suddenly flying past you. The horde of huge beetles, their massive shimmering shells open with the humming, barely visible vibrating wings keeping that massive swarm aloft as they speed, hurtling as a giant black missile in towards wherever that meat is going. And in the moment, as you watch it, to your horror, that massive missile splits as part of it heads off towards the newly found source to be had and continues in after you. With that, the camera pans against a lot of you guys. From Orion, what do you do?
I'm up at that ballista still, right? Because I was going to launch some more meat that way as well.
You are.
Yeah, so could I take that shot?
Well, you took one of them. You got to reload the ballista now. You're at that stage.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll go to reload then.
Okay. And with that said, you'll get her done. I assume that's all you're doing? No bonus action, no nothing? Okay, very good.
No.
From there, the Draegors continue to rip through. Their driver has no issue holding steady. The beetles will swarm in upon. As they do, you watch them rake against the hull. I'm gonna do this sort of thing. Split. And we can I swarm them on there. As one after the next, they land upon, shattering away, chittering at the hull and chewing at its metal. You can see sparks start to fly off the surface of their machine. And from inside, you can hear the satisfying screams above all the roaring of the engines, crying out across the desert. As, you can kind of see that, eh? As the machines continue to careen along, their first gunner will take a shot out the side with a porthole opening up and a 15 plus bonus. He fires with a large RPG. I can't think of oh my god, not bazooka. It doesn't matter, whatever. For 3d6 as 11, 14 points of damage explode against the hull. And as Kumata holds her steady, oh wait a minute, Barium, hopefully you hold her steady as you roll me another athletics check. You guys hear in the distance, as suddenly against you guys there's a resounding explosion.
Oh man. I got a nat 1.
I'm inspiring you. I'm inspiring you.
Go from a nat 20 to a nat 1. Alright, redo. 9.
Total?
Yeah, total.
Everybody on top of the bus can make me a athletics check to hold themselves steady as the whole of the bus is careens off to the side, holding with the velocity of the of the massive strike. It's concussive waves raking against the plates. Bjorn, the whole of the place echoes sharply as the substructure to your right slightly ruptures. You watch a bit of the shell suddenly blast inwards as if somebody had just kicked it in. It explodes against you with almost enough force to do something as it bends against you feel your face slightly bend with the force, but you manage to hold yourself just steady, having taken surprisingly no damage for the remaining armor on the bus. With that, the second gunman comes out and with a 17 plus bonus fires forth. He will do another 11 points of damage as a secondary shot flies away. As it suddenly swirls, sending smoke in all directions, it suddenly explodes against the hull of the machine once again, sending concussive waves throughout the place. So what was the first athletics save? Everybody on top?
I got 17.
I got a 12.
12 or better will do it. Anybody get under?
15.
Sorth
I
and
think we're all
Bjorn.
good.
And Sorth is good. Bjorn?
I'm inside.
Oh, you're inside. No, sorry, my bad. You know what? I'm gonna do this so I don't keep confusing myself. Right, as we were. The whole of the machine continues to careen down. Barium managing to just hold enough control that the bus doesn't topple. As the whole of you guys hold yourself steady. The second shot rattles once again, and we go through it once more as everybody makes their saves. Barium, did you make your save for this shot? I can't remember. Did we just do that?
Oh, I can't hear you. The bugs are a little loud.
Right. Let's do that. That better?
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, okay. I can only imagine. Did we already resolve your driving test for the second shot?
You've had me roll twice now.
Okay, cool. And then everybody else on top of the bus, has to make their second athletics check as well. And again, 12 or better.
Ow. 7.
Again, over 5, you're just stunned for the moment, or not stunned, but put to a knee. Your movement goes to 0.
12 even.
Sorry? 12 even? You're
12
good?
even.
You're good. As you guys continue careening down the side of the place, that's pretty much them and all. Yeah. I'm gonna need more Play-Doh though. Seriously.
You boys can trust my driving. I swear.
Alright.
At this point, I can't even trust my own footing, so.
I mean, if this keeps up, we're gonna have to throw Kumata off the back as a distraction.
You just drive and I'll keep the shells off of you.
Alright, good. I'm not as weak as Kumata. I hope one shell doesn't kill me.
Kumata's just sitting there listening to you make fun of him.
I'm right here.
Oh, Kumata, is that a shell behind you? Is that a beetle behind you?
What the shell?
Shut up! You are probably made of the same thing as their shells. With that said, though, he stares at you for a moment, and then looks over towards Bjorn, and then he grabs a hold of the seating and pulls himself up onto it. He then refocuses himself and shouts out, "We will be passing into where are we? We'll be." He starts looking around for a moment, unsure of where he is. And he's gonna be frantic, and he's gonna lose it for a brief moment before getting it back together and not remember and not know where you guys are currently. And with that said, it is over to Bjorn. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. Can I get some more of this meat shoved up and out the hatch?
You can, absolutely. You rush over towards the stock and do so.
What was that, sorry?
You rush over towards the stock and do so.
Yeah.
As you do, how much do you grab? Just like as much as you can carry, I'm assuming.
A shield full, probably. Like, using it like a shovel.
Remember, you gotta kind of climb up a ladder here, so I'm trying to envision. You can throw it on your shoulder. I'm down with that.
I can't throw it through the hole in the side now?
You gotta get up the ladder, throw it, just throw it straight up.
I was just thinking they just blew a hole in the side. I could just start.
Oh, yeah. I gotcha. Fuck yeah, you totally could. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Just such an angry Sarth in the camera.
Slow
I'm not
tear.
plotting vengeance or anything.
Slow tears shed away as revenge is plotted.
You already shot one of us, so.
A lot of that goes around in the group.
I totally did not support that shot.
So with that said, you start shoveling this stuff out the hole. It's landing in piles as you quickly hurdle 2 shieldfuls easily, each of them gripping just a whole slurping amount of meats. Blood and gristle splorts all over the van as it splashes against the open crevice. This large, sort of eye-shaped, ragged metal crevice covered in meat chunks now, whipping in the wind as you shovel pile after pile of old gods knows what out into the desert sands, where it splashes, wraps in the sands, and we watch as massive piles of beetles are formed over them, But moments later, the two of your vehicles continue to careen along as Laz, up on top, you watch two large swarms of the beetles landing on the Dragors as they land down upon your hull at the back of the bus.
Oh, they're on ours?
Yeah.
They already landed. All right.
They've landed next to Sorth, as a matter of fact.
Well, obviously I can't go to town with the cannon on our own bus, so I got to go to work with my golf swing. Start using the axe to clear these things off there.
Right on.
All right. I have to remember all my bits and pieces now that I'm not using the cannon anymore. So we will do the first one, and I'm not in the prone position or anything else, so I'm in good stead right now. I'll do Great Weapons Master, and I'll do Reckless Attack, so we get advantage. So swing for the fences. Come on, you bastard. First one is 16 plus 6 is 22, and the second one, big money, no whammy, 23. So we'll stick with the 23. That hit it? With a -5 penalty, so...
It hits.
Okay. All right, so then we have to roll damage for our first one.
Indeedy doody. You rush in towards the first swarm, taking a wild golf swing with your axe.
Is 8 plus 3 is 11. Then I have to add on 10 for the Great Weapon Master. That's 21.
Holy shit.
Add on 2 going into... How many are on the... Was this a whole swarm that got on there? Like we got
It's
five,
considered.
6,
It's
7,
just
8?
considered a swarm, yeah.
Okay, then then I'm gonna raise. So I'm gonna put 2 on top of that. So that's 23.
Okay.
So that is our first attack. So that's 23 damage for the first one.
You hurtle yourself forth for 32 damage.
23.
23 damage. Okay. Becomes I want to say 11 damage. Goes swarm versus melee. So it goes. But you take a wild golf swing through as you slash against multiples of the beetles, several of them losing a piece of themselves to your massive axe as you catch 2 of them dead on, cleaving through the massive swarm with your massive swing and sending them careening off into the sands behind you.
All right, then attack number 2 for the swarm.
You bring it about.
Can't see what's underneath there. It is a 20.
Very nice.
20 hits, all right. And this will be just regular standard. Oh, low fucking roll. What a bitch. 4 plus 3 is 7 plus 2, 9.
9. 9 is something. That brings you to a grand total of 16 points of damage today. As you smash down upon the swarm, swatting as best you can to take out as many as you can, you find your efforts waylaid. You find yourself fighting an onslaught. Such honor this day! Anyway, so as you position yourself and go to town, with Sorth next to you, watching this all occur, the camera pans from your massive slashes to his face as your golden eyes reflect this massive silhouette. What do you do, Sorth?
Alright, so I can't move, and I'm too close to shoot him. So I'm actually gonna just swing my bow, like, at them.
Actually, you're not. You're just you're like just a square away, so to speak. 5-10 feet away.
Either way, I think, yeah.
You've got a
I'm
gap.
still
This is you. This is them
Okay.
and them.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, I'll just shoot at one.
Okay.
If it's close enough.
By all means.
With my frost arrow.
100%.
28 to hit.
Misses by 12. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
And what are you? 12 damage.
Terrific. Hits.
Sweet.
Sorry, hits for 12 damage. Terrific hit. Trying to pitch up. Oh yeah, no, there we are. Perfect. Where are we then? Same one that he was hitting for another brings it to 22. Very nice. You got a second shot on you, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I'm gonna take a second shot.
Let's hear about it.
22.
Hits.
And it's the same one, yeah?
Sorry?
It's the same one that I just hit, right?
Yep.
Yeah, awesome. So in that case, 22 damage.
Wow, nice. With each of your combined efforts, taking out several of the beetles, cutting that swarm down, quick and easy, the whole of the few massive beetles remaining still scratching at the hull of your bus as you roll down this dune. The camera pans inside to show Barium holding on the wheel tight as you can. You have an opportunity to do what you will as the pilot here, Barium. What is it you want to do? You sit just in the lead, having slid down in your loss of control, with the Dragors holding fast, but having hit the brakes slightly to take a moment of pause, if you will, with their newfound friends.
I want to move the bus a little closer towards their trajectory, their path.
Okay.
Not too close, just a little closer. I want to keep the pressure on them.
Sounds good. Throw me a pilot check here of strength as you pull yourself in closer on the slope.
18.
Very nice, very nice. As you pull yourself over towards the side, easily bringing yourself up over the golden slope, much to Kumata's wide eyes and slack-jawed surprise, he stares forth out the windshield as sand billows against the armored plates. Imagine the sound of that spattering dirt that hits the inside of your vehicle, but it's like dulled by so many inches of it, as pounds of it splashes up all around, raking against the outsides like a million little fingers just dragging across the outside at once, if you will. As he watches you do this and stares towards the Drager's vehicle, you rolled really well, so I will ask you of 30, actually, we'll say of 50 feet that you managed to pull out of your ass on this. How close do you want to go? Do you want to go in front of them? Do you want to go in behind, or what?
I'd like to stay in front of them.
Okay. You managed to pull yourself smooth as butter just in front of them we'll do this. As you guys continue down the slope as one does. The camera pans to the one side, showing the whole of the moment as the two massive vehicles continue to careen down the slope, heading towards the bottom. Slow and easy, one might say, from a distance, but in truth, it is harrowing and incredibly fast. Put this here, actually. I wish I had the stand. Goddamn. Gotta get the rock out of there. With that said, where are we then from Barium back to Orion? Situated next to the ballista, now loaded with what you had remaining of meat. As your companion, you watch him shovel it out the side of the bus down below. You can see massive piles of meat firing out the side of the bus and landing in heaps in the sand as they roll into massive streams of debris.
Like sandwiches, right?
Completely.
Meat sandwiches?
Completely.
Like sloppy joes.
Okay, so they're right behind us. Can I swing the ballista that way, or am I gonna hit my teammates there?
You thoroughly can swing your ballista in towards the beetles on the one side that is here, as Sorth and Laz are situated in front of this horde right here, this dwindling swarm.
Okay. Yeah, I'll kind of do that. I'll shoot it off the side there.
All right.
Is that just a dex check?
It is a strength check to muscle that thing.
Strength.
It is a strength-based attack every time on that thing.
Okay. 15.
Fantastic strike as the ballista bolt strikes into the swarm. You hear them immediately. All of them scattering around as they squirm and squeal against the massive piece of wood. And meat that splashes against them. As you watch them in this moment buzz in upon your meat-ridden bolt. They catch a hold of it. The bolt ricochets off of the bus, and a bunch of them fly off with it. How much damage, sorry?
What do I roll for damage on that? I don't even know.
I believe that one was also 3d6.
3d6? Okay.
Yes. If anybody care to correct me. If anybody is keeping track. It's
Pretty much the
3d10.
same.
3d6, 3d10? That's not even almost.
No, 3d6 or 2d10.
Oh,
is-
2d10. Okay, fair enough.
Okay, I'll just do the 2d10.
3d6 has higher potential damage. Or sorry, higher minimum damage, but not as high potential damage.
13.
Terrific stuff. That is a fantastic roll for 13 damage as the massive ballista meat bolt strikes into that swarm and sends it. And I'm going to call that for area of effect damage, even though it's really not. I'll give it the full allotment of 13 damage. I am such a nice person. But the reality is, beetles and swarms, they're greedy. We'll go with that.
And Orion will look down upon this and he will say, "It was nice to meet you."
As the
Yeah.
camera pans
Very
against your
impressed
steely
himself.
gaze, and then shows your companions on the other side of the bus as they then zips in upon the Dragors in the distance. Their massive vehicle comes careening in towards. As the driver tries to hold it steady, you guys watch as several of the beetles start to crawl inside the cab, going after a particular arrow shot in a moment ago. As one after the next, they slip inside. You easily hear and see the results of your excellent shot. As the whole of the Dragor vehicle starts to kind of waver behind you and pull backwards slowly, you begin to careen away. As the camera pans just so, it shows the whole of you guys pulling away so quickly, in fact, simply by virtue of the Dragors slowing themselves down best they can. As it pulls back to show them sitting on the slopes, lonesome, and then zips in upon you guys, still roasting down. No, that's not how you guys roast. Roasting down the hill, leaving the Dragors far and away in the dust.
But not the beetles.
Well, you guys still have beetles on you, and the beetles that are chasing you are one thing, but they are much lessened at this point, with all the meats on the ground and the Dragors to now feast on. But as you watch over towards them, you also see a particular silhouette still chasing in the distance, up and over the horizon, still floating down towards you, as easy as one might please a feather float down to the earth. The Dragor vessel, their support, chase, and the Lordship's vehicle, as he comes in towards his own. But you don't have time to worry about that, as the swarm continues upon you, and you're pulling away at this point. Pulling far and away, and Kumata watches out the window and pulls his head back. They're lessening, much lessening. These things are vicious. These things are terrible. Can you only imagine what they eat? Can you only imagine what eats them? This desert. All sorts of wonders, huh? You drive amazing! He shouts out over the engine, the sound of the Decius valvulus smashing away, massive pistons gobbling huge gobs of fuel, burning it away to turn those massive tires under you, careening down the slope as you pull away from the Dragors behind you. The beetles continue to come upon unabated. As they come forth upon you, Sorth, the swarm, or what remains of it, the few beetles that are, manage to pull themselves closer. Their clattering, chittering selves, sending sparks all over, as with a 15 plus bonus, they swarm upon you. As they do, you take the whole of 4 points, plus 6 points for 10 points, plus 4 for 14 points of piercing shittiness. And as this occurs, I need a Constitution save.
Alright.
The second swarm.
9.
What'd you get? 9?
9, yeah.
Wait. The swarm leaps upon you, taking hold of you. As you feel them all over you, their massive, heavy forms surprising you with their strength, their huge legs wrapping around your limbs, and their massive mandibles piercing upon. You find yourself restrained, and they have advantage on their next attack upon you. With that, the secondary swarm comes in towards Laz, as it takes a massive attempt towards you. Laz, you manage to swat them back with your axe as you shout, instinctually warning these beasts that you will smash them, and to your surprise and Sorth's dismay, they hold back just so, nipping towards you. You manage to slap one, not causing it any harm, but then another and another. The little bastards are industrious, and as the camera pans along, it shows, I think that's me, yeah, Bjorn inside the cab, once again. Inside the bus, once again, shoveling meat. When you continue or do something else?
I'm gonna continue. We gotta get this rotted meat out of here.
You continue to shovel hard
Gotta
and
get this
fast.
place ship shape.
Massive chunks of meat are thrown from the side as bit by bit you scoop and toss as much as your shield can shovel with each massive swing. Your muscles, corded as they are, stretching under your skin as you haul each load out, and it smashes against the subframe, getting sucked out by the wind as you watch sand in the atmosphere swallow it away into the desert behind you. As you easily hear the buzzing overhead getting closer, you can also hear the unmistakable clatter of the little fuckers all over the hull up top. As you maintain your focus, the camera pans along to show Laz up top as you're swatting away, watching Sorth getting taken over by all these beetles, massive and deadly.
Yeah, so I really can't go. I gotta go for the other set. I can't sit there and start taking on the ones that are on top of Swords at the moment, because if I do that, I'm liable to get overtaken. Sorry, buddy. I gotta choose one or the other. We can't have both of us down.
I would have done the same too, it's fine.
Yeah, Laz is gonna continue on his merry way here. Kind of fun like stuff. Alright, here we go. Alright, so first attack with advantage. Can't see it behind there. So the first one is 22 minus 5. The second one. Yeah, we're gonna take the first one. So 22 minus 5, so 17.
17 will hit.
17 will hit. Alright, let's do some damage. So the first damage is 7 plus 3, that's 10. Add on 10 for the reckless, that's 20. And add on 2, 22.
Very nice.
First one.
22 is, sorry, this is your axe still?
Yes.
Right. And this is on
Not the ones that are on sword. That would turn out very bad.
Very nice.
Missing an arm.
They might chase it if it leaves your body.
Terrific stuff. You swat through, heroically smashing against the swarm with your axe, doing the best you can to take out as many as you can. With each swat, managing to clip one or smoke one, but still, your efforts stymied by the fact that it's many to one. With that said, the camera pans against your face
I get one more.
as you take your next weighted follow-through excellent swing, which resulted in a
nat 20.
Okay, terrific stuff.
I like it. Here we go. First roll is 9 plus 3 is 12, and the second roll, just for the die, roll the 12. And it's a 12. There we go.
Very nice. 12 total?
24.
Ah, very good. With that said, the whole of the swarm is quickly minced as you watch your massive companion with his huge swings swat the swarm to almost nothing. With only a few of them remaining, they chitter angrily towards you, menacingly smashing their mandibles, giving promise that they will revenge their fallen brethren. And with that said, they even show subtitles and shit like, "We'll get you." And Sorth, it's over to you.
Alright, so I'm just seeing piles of my meat getting thrown out, and I'm restrained. I can't do anything about it, so this is terrifying.
Everything's a disadvantage. No, I'm kidding.
This is terrible. This is a horrible time. I'm gonna get my meat one way or another, so I'm gonna start chomping on these bastards. I'm gonna bite them.
Okay, sounds good.
21 to hit.
Hits. You easily leap forward, your ravenous, instinctual, bestial self coming out. As you chomp down, you do how much damage? What do you got?
4 damage.
Fair enough. You chew into the one. It easily squeals in pain, grumbling as it bleeds a little bit from your teeth. And as you lick your lips, you realize these things are sweet on the insides. They taste sugary, you want to say, oddly, and warm on the tongue. They have a sort of slimy texture when they bleed. It's thick, like gelatin paste, like what Kurgit would make out of all the leftovers before everything really rotted.
With that succulent taste, I'm gonna take a bite at the same one.
All right, sounds
more
good.
ferocity.
You find yourself instinctually reaching forth and easily, like it's just slow-mo, and the thing itself almost doesn't see it happening, as it's in shock of what just happened. You grab a hold of it, by one of its mandibles, your scaled skin easily finding itself protected against the sharpened edge of its crushing of its crushing jaw as you pull it forth and give it another go.
I only got a 10 that time.
It flaps its shell in your face, giving a whap as it bats you away. As it buzzes its wings, you're taken by surprise and pull away. Almost looking like one might expect a dog to look at the same, right? With the expression of surprise, as it's just like, whoa, okay, maybe it's not that easy. With that, the swarm suddenly pulls in around you. But that said, bury him first. I don't know if you had anything else. Sorry, did you have anything else?
No, I can't do anything else. I'm still restrained, pretty much.
Bury him, what do you got?
Jordan, keep shoveling that meat out. Maybe soon we'll get rid of these damn insects.
Get it clean in here.
Do we have anything to wipe the inside down with?
Kumata leaps off the seat, wanting to be useful at this point. He stumbles in through the doorway and takes off his top, and he starts mopping the area around, doing his best to get as much of the shit together, and more or less just smearing it just for the sheer amount of giblet and fluid and just bits and giblets that are situated, littered, and vibrating and shaking around and shit. Like, he's trying, but it's like trying to wipe up a crayon mess with a fistful of crayons after a little while. He's literally just got like a shirt full of meat that he's smearing around within a moment or two. But he's trying, and that matters. Point being, though, is he does that. Barium, anything else?
I think to pack any cleaning supplies on this damn thing.
Who knew, eh?
As far as the move goes, I'm just gonna keep her steady. Make sure to stay in front of the Dragors.
Okay. You're well and ahead of the Dragors at this point. There's literally no stress regarding these guys. They're like at this point about 120 feet and distancing, as you guys are careening at double speed down this slope. You don't have anything to worry about in terms of keeping ahead of them, and you are well in front, way ahead. So with that said, though, do you want to slow it back? Do you want to pick up speed? Do you want to anything, or are you just holding it steady? Holding it steady is fine.
Yeah, right now I don't see any need to push it. If they become a threat, then I'll worry about pushing it.
Okay,
But
sounds
just
good.
keep it, good pace.
All right. You do so easily enough as the bus is holding steady along the slopes. Without issue, you are finding yourself coming down the golden slope towards the bottom where you can see juts of rock coming into view where the sands are giving away. You can actually see where the winds are blowing this way and that. And Kumata, looking down at the floor, doesn't say anything. Actually, he's continuing to try and mop up bits of whatever. So he's taken up for the whole turn. Never mind. Point being is that as you are heading down towards the bottom of the slopes, you can see the whipping winds whistling about, picking up the sands, and you can see them like streamering as a sign of how strong the winds are, picking up large amounts of the sand and picking them up and whipping about and whirling, and you can see full-on eddies of sand being whipped about if you look closely enough as you race down towards the bottom of this place. And with that said, it is back over to Orion.
Were the bugs dealt with while I was gone there?
Oh, no. You still have bugs on the hull. However, they are now in melee with Laz and enwrapped upon your lizard friend.
Okay, I'm gonna go to shoot the bugs off of Sorth.
No.
No.
Ballista? Please tell me with
No,
ballista.
with my pistol. With my pistol.
I mean, you can.
Better.
Go
Can
ahead.
I?
Make the roll. Yeah, by all means. That's
Okay,
fine.
because I got a 19.
Sweet. To Sorth's chagrin, he watches as, oh, shit. Damn it. I loaded the same soundboard twice. Okay, I'm going to lose audio for a sec. And I got to give myself audio now. How do I do that? Anyway. All right. Can I hear you guys?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
Use.
So as I was saying, to Sorth's chagrin, he watches as Orion pulls from his holster a large piece of steel and unleashes shot after shot, firing out towards the beetles. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Okay, would there be sneak attack on this? Because am I flanking them, or?
No, and they don't have. Well, yeah, your companion doesn't pose a threat to them currently in the same way.
Okay.
At least I don't think swarm counts the same way that way.
Okay, so that would be just the 5 damage then.
Okay. To Sorth's chagrin, bullets ricochet against his body and the beetles as he and the beetle swarm take 5 damage. Actually, the beetle swarm takes 2 damage, but you know. Swarms, right?
Bad day for Sorth.
I'm sorry, they're really bugging you there. Get it?
Streaks of scale and blood explode off of you as the bullets ricochet, just so, sending streaks with their heat, burning you and whatnot as well. Good shooting for the most part, I would imagine, but you're still hurt, so it is with swarms. Anything else to declare there, sir? From your position, you can see down towards the bottom. I want to say this is something everybody on the top of the bus can see. If you pull your attention towards the bottom of the hill, you will see eddies Whistling winds whipping around, sands coalescing up, and in the far distance, you are watching the ocean recede and disappear behind the horizon of the rising slopes ahead of you, as you realize that the bus has to go up the next stretch.
Okay, I'll take a movement towards Source in preparation of trying to get these bugs off him.
All right.
Next round.
You move in close to your companion as best you can behind him. You're next to him at this point. As you pull forth easily, the bus careening such, the massive air blasting against you. You guys careen forth down the slopes, heading towards the bottom, where you can see the eddies, as I said, whistling up, sending sand in all directions. The bus held steady by your companion inside. The camera pans to, the beetles, wrapped upon Sorth. They will take their next attack upon you. Good thing it's an advantage, boy oh boy. 18 plus bonus as they chew into you, my good man. I'm going to use some of my newly gifted dice. It's good to you, sweetie, who gave me some great dandelion dice. These are terrific things. Love these. 4 plus 10 plus 5 brings you to 19. Shitty plus 4. Oh my god, 23. Oh! Oh! I don't know if you scream while this happens, but...
Yeah, I scream and collapse, like they just overtake me. Ah!
Oh shit. That is not what I planned. Oh no. Lads, we've got a mess here.
So, is that you for hit points currently? You're over? Alright. As your companion is chewed down to the ground, that is to say the top of the bus, you watch as his body is quickly about to be whisked away. The camera pans upon him, his scaled form held by the beetles down, and as it starts to slide, the camera swings to show, let's see, the other one's leaping upon Laz. How you doing, buddy? Oh, sorry, they only have the one attack, sorry. Plus bonus, 17 total against Laz's AC. Does that hit?
Laz's AC is 19. No.
Fuck. Fine. And with that
Just wanna
said,
make note that Orion's kind of thinking in the back of his mind silently about how ironic this is that the man who, or the creature that brought all the swarms upon us is now being eaten by them.
I feel karma for all the cows that I
Mother Nature, she'll get it. She'll get what she wants in the end. As you guys continue along with the beetles unabated, well, somewhat abated as Laz continues to keep them very abated, swatting them back as each attempt comes upon. They slowly start to slip down the side. Actually, there's not that many of them left, actually, so they're not going to split off. That said, though, they continue to try their best to hold upon as you guys continue down towards the bottom. In the distance, you guys hear a massive roar as it echoes against the horizon behind you, the massive slope of sand that carries away, showing up at the top as there's a bit of an explosion of sand as something massive and wicked looking leaps out, silhouetted by the sun, simply a blot on the horizon as it appears in its massive form, completely eclipsing the Dragor's vehicle. You watch as the sudden jerk of their course makes them apparent once again, headed off in a completely different direction. Never mind, this way is no good no more. As the massive beast leaps from the sand and starts charging, you watch towards the beetles. A moment later, it leaps through the air, and the camera pans against Bjorn. What are you doing? This is a ways behind you guys. I just want to make that clear. This is like easily 240 feet at this point behind you guys, as you guys are continuing down the slope. Oh, sorry, one other thing I forgot to mention. You guys watch as in the distance, despite everything going on, the Dragor's the Dragor's ship continues to float in, arriving in upon where their race vehicle sits, and you watch as sudden etheric blasts explode from the Dragor's ship, cleansing upon the surface of their vessel. A few soldiers leap from the low vessel up onto the hull and begin to take care of business. You watch as, even at this distance, the Dragors take care of business. Quick and efficient.
So the hatch for the bus is still closed, right?
Yes.
Probably would have been able to hear screams over the engine.
You would still hear them for the window view that you have.
Okay. Yeah, if I could hear that something was going wrong, I'm gonna throw open the hatch and pull myself up.
You appear a moment later.
And seeing that Source down, I'm gonna cast Healing Word on him.
Okay, you poke your head through the hole and give him a little blast of your god's energy.
So heal him for 7. And then I'm gonna call a Sacred Flame down on the swarm.
Okay, sounds good.
So dex save for 14.
14?
Yeah.
They're gonna make that.
Okay.
But give me that damage. Oh, you have nothing. Is it a cantrip? No.
Yeah, I can't try.
Oh, okay. With that said, right, it should be. Never mind. Sorry. Obviously, where we here is to Laz once again. You watch as your companion sprouts out and suddenly gives your friend the howdy do. Sparkles of etheric energy wash across him as a familiar glow holds him steady against the agony that must be so many massive, tearing mandibles chewing upon his flesh. What a way to wake up, hey? Wow. Rather be dead, I'd imagine. It's like, wow, I was a lot more peaceful a moment ago. This is not good. With that said, though, it is over to Laz, as I said. What do you do, buddy?
All right, so we've got. Is there anything left of the other swarm, or are we down to just one swarm that's all over Sorth right now?
You still have 2 swarms. Did I say you crushed the other one?
You said I thought you had said we had done a lot of damage, and there was like 1 or 2 left that were just like hissing at me.
Yeah, there's not much left. See, it's like...
Okay,
yeah.
But there is still something I gotta get rid of.
Yeah.
Okay. And Sorth is no longer sliding off of the bus, right?
Sorry, I still have to resolve that.
Oh, shit.
So, thank you for reminding me.
Sorry, guys, I'm that kid. Like, hey, don't we have homework?
No, that's on his turn. Thank you for bringing that up, sir. You may have 5. You may have 5 more experience than everybody else. With that said, no, on Sorth's turn, we'll resolve that. He was not unconscious long enough for it to matter. The beetles were feasting where they were. Not that they're picky, mind you, but so it is. You would have moved a few feet for sure, but not enough yet. You're not quite whisked away as I wanted. With that said,
I'm gonna finish off that other swarm then first.
Laz takes mighty swings, as one does.
Here we go. First one with advantage, so it's 15.
Very nice.
Second one is 21. So we hit.
Yeah, 100%.
That is good news. Alright, so the first one damage is 5, plus 3 is 8, plus 10 is 18, plus 2 is 20. So 20 for the first swing.
You take a couple quick swings and stomp into the last one as you crush the rest of the swarm out of existence.
Alright. In my expert judgment of using my axe, kind of like the golf swing where you're hitting the tee out of the guy's mouth.
Okay.
How likely am I to remove a limb from Sorth if I try and do the axe attack? Use my Yeah, you know what? Probably better to either. I'm trying to decide if I should go with a hand axe or just go bare fisting it here. Because I'm assuming using a great axe is probably not going to be the brightest idea.
If you're really worried about it,
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to.
you have an extra attack, is what you're wondering what to do with, right?
Yeah. I'm
Okay,
trying to
so
decide what to do.
I would let you. Gosh, actually, I would let you drop your axe to use both hands to potentially grab these things, two of these things, and just throw them off. I'm totally into that. And that will.
And
I
the
will.
hatch is open. Hold on, the hatch is open now that Bjorn has opened it, correct?
100%. His head's poking through it. He's like half through the thing, and meow meow meow.
And how many of them are on Bjorn? Or on Sword?
There's what's left of a small swarm. There's what's left of a swarm. This is about what you just killed left crawling over him.
Oh, then yeah, I think we're gonna go in that. You know what? I don't want to lose my axe, so I gotta throw it back on my back. I'm not losing my battle axe, so whatever that takes for an action, we gotta do.
No worries.
I'm not.
Um,
I'll leave that behind.
No worries. It takes a full-on bonus action to put away your weapon. With that said, yeah, you can't do it during your extra attack. If you want to swing into him with your extra attack before you do that, or if you want to not put your axe away because you might want to use it, I don't know what you want to do. You want to legit put it away?
No, I mean, these things are feasting on him, and I'm not about to go start swinging and lopping a leg off or something on Sword.
That's fair.
He's already in bad stead. So I'm gonna sheathe the axe so I don't lose this thing, and then get down in there with him and try and start ripping these things off him.
That sounds fine. To everyone's surprise, the barbarian shows restraint again, and as the bus careens down the slope, it shows you putting your axe away as you get ready for your next move.
Guys, is it better him dead? What's an arm? Come on. Swing at these things.
Sorth,
Hey!
you come to being chewed upon as you are slowly sliding down the bus, prone as you are, with beetles crawling and biting you, crawling all over you, biting you. I need you to make yourself oh my goodness, athletics or acrobatics check, your choice. There we go. Finally put that in.
13.
That will, I want to say, do as you manage to hold yourself steady on the bus, raking with your claws, such that your sliding comes to a stop. You can pull yourself to your feet if you want, or fight them from here. Fighting them from here is, well, it's a disadvantage either way.
Do I see my bow anywhere? Like, is that sliding off, or is that fine just where it's at?
It's you're still holding it
Oh, okay, cool.
easily, yeah. Old faithful, baby.
Alright then. I kind of wanted to see if I could shake these things off of me.
Okay, you can make me an escape check thereby, which is another athletics or acrobatics.
Damn, 9. Jesus.
Unfortunately, as you try to wriggle out from their grip, you find that their massive chomping mandibles are just too much. They hold locked one after the next, like trying to get rid of a piece of scotch tape that's stuck to two fingers.
Get off of me, damn it!
As the silhouette of Sorth trying his best to get rid of whatever is crawling all over him continues, you would still have a bonus action in this. Your action having been trying to escape.
I don't think I have anything that Ooh, yeah, I'm actually going to use Hungry Jaws on one of them.
Sounds great.
So it's my bite attack.
You bite
There you
into
go.
the one easily enough.
19, yeah.
Terrific stuff. Its gushing
Yeah.
chewiness strikes you once again. Ever so delicious.
Is one of them injured by chance?
Yeah, the same one you chewed before is right there.
Awesome, then that will work greatly. So that's 7 damage.
Okay. You do enough on that as it squeals and you crush it, managing to get just into its sternum and you imagine its brainstem. You crack through the exoskeleton, satisfyingly giving a nice leaking amount of just what you wanted. And with that, You hold it dead in your jaws as the others squeal in absolute terror at this and jump off you, letting their massive wings open and the wind carry them off. As they dissipate off of you, seeing you as the new predator, and fuck that, we're not eating this. The camera swings from your, I'm imagining, satisfied face holding this thing,
Very much so.
to Barium through the windshield of the sand-covered bus.
Bjorn is still within earshot, right?
He is. No, sort of. You'll have to really yell.
Bjorn, what's going on out there?
I think we got rid of enough of the meat. The bugs are, they're leaving, giving up.
How's the crew faring?
Sorth looks a little worse for wear. He's been. They really got him, and it looks like he's been shot.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm able to turn my head fully back now.
Is he gonna be okay?
Glad to hear, buddy.
He's still moving and he's holding on. I think he'll be fine.
Alright, I need
We'll
you to be
have
my
to get him a
spotter.
cow.
Alright, I need you to be my spotter. Let me know if anything serious is going on or if you need me to do anything.
Watching it towards the valley down below Barium, you can see that the eddies are thicker and thicker the closer you get to them. Almost as if the force is picking up. You can see all around bits of sand moving now. You're pretty sure. As you look back and forth. Wait, your past perception is shit, isn't it? Damn it.
Yep.
Never mind.
Yes, it is.
As you careen down, you see nothing except the winds, sands down below. Right.
For him, do I see anything?
Yeah, so I was going to say, everybody else on top, I don't think you guys have like 11, I think is his passive, or 10. I think it's 10.
I'm at a 16.
Yeah, I got 15, so I'm good.
So up on top of the bus, you guys easily sight down to see the thick winds and massive sands that are starting to whirl about. The few eddies that you saw earlier are starting to coalesce.
I'm gonna yell down that there's a storm brewing. We gotta. What do we do in this situation? Should we race the storm? Should we try and take cover? Like, what? As a sailor, what would my instincts be here?
Oh my goodness, I don't know I can answer that. But I
Don't
will
we have
tell
a
you, I
driver
will be
that
right
people
back.
ask?
I will be right
We
back.
need to do the appropriate things that you would do in this situation.
We have a driver that we should be able to ask about. Does he drive this all the time, or is he taking
let's
his
take
shit
it
and
off.
hiding in the back?
Did Bjorn just say there's a storm?
I have a feeling Bjorn would be the one to drive headlong into the storm.
Yeah, I pictured
Yeah.
Bjorn as like a Blackbeard, like, alright, let's do this.
Like, I have Valkyr behind me.
I'm getting a beverage.
Perhaps we should button the hatches and carry on.
Are there any, like, beetle carcasses on top that we know of? Other than the one in my nose? Oh, dude, it's gone. Damn. Because I kind of want to restock the bus.
That's my new favorite button.
Very good one.
I downloaded that game.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's gonna be a pretty shit game, but it'll probably be pretty fun if there's 4 of us.
Yeah, it's free, so you might as well try it, right?
Wait, which one's free?
Free-ish.
Oh, it's free on Game Pass.
Dark Alliance, it's free if you have a subscription.
Damn. It reminds me of like the old Dungeons and Dragons like RPG game.
Yeah.
Kinda,
I
yeah.
think it's definitely a callback.
It kind of reminds me of Vermintide in a way.
Yeah.
Like, same sort of. And then Age of Empires. That looks good.
I thought it looked like shit. It looks like a phone game.
True.
Like I really love 2 and 3, but it doesn't look good.
Did 4 get any better, or was it just?
It's not out yet. Just the one trailer I was looking at. It looks dated already.
Eh.
Yeah, like okay, I can see what you mean graphics wise. Definitely, it looks like I don't know. I'm surprised, honestly, they don't take more of like a Total War kind of path.
Yeah, like maybe the campaigns would be like that.
Maybe. I see what you mean though. Like, I guess it's.
Like I just think like the animations and models are
Yeah,
pretty rough for.
I mean, hopefully that's just. I wonder if that's finished or not.
Probably not, because it's like tucked right at the end of the trailer.
Yeah.
They definitely weren't leading with it.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully it's not. But yeah, I can see what you mean. Like the ships look really stale. The cavalry still just like kind of pokes at each other.
Yeah. Which is like, it's fine. It'd probably be a fun game. It just it looks a lot like 3 to me.
Yeah,
All right, so we go throw caution to the wind and just diving into this thing. Or what?
I'd say so. That whatever that monster is behind us, I don't want to come to that thing.
These are our choices: are to get eaten by the thing behind us or go straight in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's really giving it to us.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Like you're a priest that's out on the and you're like a pirate. You have nothing that will clear a buffer zone for us to get through this thing. There's no like secret wind bubble we can do or something.
I can.
He's not an airbender.
Well, I don't know what the hell he is.
I can summon a sleet storm. I could turn
That's
this
not
into
gonna help us.
a really cool lightning storm. And since it's already stormy outside, it would do extra damage, but that's not really gonna help
To
me.
us, that would do extra damage to us.
It would look extra cool though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It'd be a great way to go.
Oh Jesus.
Pray to Valkyrie,
Oh boy.
and you will be protected in this
I
life and the next.
have to wait a few more levels till I can pray for help.
No, you got it wrong. You can
not
always
worthy
pray
yet.
for help. It's gonna take a few more levels before somebody responds.
Yeah. Yeah, at level 10, there's a chance they'll listen when I pray.
Valkyrie's kind of shit, dude.
Damn, there's a lot of underleveled people in the world.
All right, let's hear the plan,
That's
boys.
brutal.
That was great.
Let's hear what you got. What you got? What you got?
I think we're just battening down the hatches and riding them.
Full speed ahead, Valkyrie will see us through.
Kind of thinking some people need to get in the bus, you know?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That's,
Batting down the
that's not my
hatches.
business.
Yeah.
That's none of my business. I'm just driving. I'm going. If they don't get in, that's their problem.
I'm 100% getting in.
Yeah, Sorth is gonna hop in and finish eating what's left of the meat.
After seeing us shovel it out.
Yeah. And then
How low are you, buddy? You're in pretty bad shape, aren't you?
I'm at 7 now, plus with 2 temp because of the hunger jaws, but I should be fine for another couple minutes.
All right. Well then, where are we at? Everyone's got to get inside the bus.
Yeah.
I think so.
All right. So as you guys head down towards the bottom of this massive slope, we watch from a distance as your silhouettes, one after the next, drop down into the top of the bus. The hatch swinging shut. The camera pans from the now sealed metal circle of of security as we watch whoever closed it descend down the stairs, down the ladder, and the camera pulls back to show the massive hole in the side of the bus and wind and sand blasting against it as bits of sand manage to whip inside every so often. And of course, a bunch of sand is just now inside the bus, depending on how you steer.
So the question is, Barry, can you fix that hole?
As you look towards it, and Barium looks towards it, and all of you, one after the next, gawk, it's quickly apparent as the camera pans along that it is quickly serving a purpose as the sand coats and cakes against, grinds out, and then billows about with all the blood and residue, oddly enough, scouring the inside and slowly cleaning it in a macabre sort of fashion. But with that said, as you careen down towards the bottom of the slope, make sure I get the, there it is. We will go with that. And then back to, can I do this one? Yeah, we'll go this. As you guys continue down towards the bottom of the slope. These guys go. Yonder. Oh, and that actually. As you guys head down towards the bottom of the slope, it's not long for sorry. It's not long before you find yourselves careening upwards, focused upon the rhythmic sounds of the engine as it pumps fuel down to the tires, explosion after explosion, rippling against the hull of the machine as it carries itself roaring upwards, ever upwards, towards your destination. Oh shit, what happened to the cap? Damn, we lost the piece. No! Oh, news! Oh, how do you like that? Had to happen eventually, I guess. We lost one man. That's... See a lot of white things going on What's your cap? That's too bad. Alright, we lost a wheel hub. I think I got some spare sticks sitting around, so. That's right. As the bus continues to rip upwards, as the bus now hits the bottom and then starts to rip upwards along the slope, the eddies blast against the side of the hull. One after the next, the winds start to whip as the bus continues to roar, doing its best to carry up the slope. The bus easily starts to lug as, where are we here? As you find yourself quickly gearing the bus down in order to try and contend with this huge slope ahead of you, as it starts to ramp up ever so suddenly, bringing itself to about in line with half of your descent, I should say. I need a quick insight on barium, and then a dex save as you try not to bag out the engine, making your way up. That's a dex save proper.
Inside I rolled 8.
Right. You fuck up on the timing. Let's see if you can save it.
Dex save 16.
Managing to keep your shift smooth despite the shitty timing. You guys hear the engine suddenly whine with a renewed vigor as Barium slides the gears down, grinding them ever so slightly as he picks up speed, going up the slope. You guys find yourselves eventually leveling out against the slope carrying upwards, but much to your chagrin, the winds continue to pick up. Blasting upon the bus, you watch as huge wafts of sand explode against the hull. Like huge tidal waves, they come soaring in, splashing against what little armor you have on the one side, where the open hole is at the mercy, taking on sand as if it were water. As wave after torrential wave splashes against the hull and slowly seeps in through the hole in the hull. The camera pans against a lot of you.
Hold your shield, Bjorn.
One of us take over driving and get Barry back there to fix this thing.
Yeah.
Because seriously, the sandy meat hole's terrible.
Kumata looks over towards where Barium is and says, "You heard him. I can take this."
Are you sure you're good to drive?
Yes,
You
go.
were nearly dead moments ago.
Shut it. You have your responsibilities. I have mine. I will be fine. He stares at you. Stares at you sternly as he holds himself steady on the entryways like this. Go!
Alright.
He pulls backward, letting you out as he grabs a hold of the one lever, and then quickly grabs a hold of the other one and jockeys into position. Holding the throttle steady, you watch as he shifts downwards and starts to pick up further. The Decius picks up speed, pumping harder as you hear the valves open up as wide as they can. The throttle push down as hard as it can, go up the slope. More and more sand billows upwards as Barim, you make your way up towards it. You watch, actually you guys all feel as your driver slowly starts to move in a curvature such that the sand starts to not billow in through the hole. And as you move towards it, you see that it's a large hole at this point, having been just torn apart by the sand. You could possibly take some scrap metal from around the place and jigger something together with either the welding wand or if you wanted to put a few bolts through it, just quick and painful like. It's up to you. How do you want to fix this massive hole?
I do happen to have a wand of conducting in my locker, Varian, if you must need it.
I think that would be a good idea. Unless you want to turn the inside of the bus into a beach.
No, I've had it quite some time since our early adventures together, and I think now would be a good time to use it.
Alright, let's get it done.
I'll give Barium one of my wands. Is that like a lightning wand kind of thing? Wand of conducting?
Yeah, so wands of conducting or wands of welding, as I like to call them. All they are is they fuse metal together as a welding iron might, and they only conduct upon metals of a certain fashion. Those that can literally be fused together.
Okay. I'll give him. I had one from way back at the auction house.
Mm-hmm.
Forgot.
Yeah, Barium would have one in his toolkit too, so I'm just saying.
Okay.
Yeah, he has one at the shop. It's fine. The Pasha's not sparing an expense. It's fine. So, that all said though. What's Barium going to do about this? You're looking at it, you got 6 seconds to come up with a plan.
Is there any like scraps of metal or anything laying around, like in the stock?
I don't know if you guys actually brought scrap metal on.
Or even like any crates or anything like that?
You know what? The what you have for scrap metal is empty fuel barrels. But other than that, you don't. Actually, you have crates of rations. You have a crate of rations. Small
like
one.
If we didn't, like I'd say, like rip a lid off of a crate real quick and try to weld it, possibly. Unless it's made out of wood.
Yeah, it's a wooden crate, yo.
I didn't know if it had like a metal frame or anything like that.
Yeah, no, fair enough. That all said, though, yeah, you got scrap metal in your barrels.
The
Now,
barrels are gonna
now you
have
just
to
need a
work.
wand of cutting, I guess. I don't know.
We can try and flatten a barrel.
Yeah.
Because lads can do that. I can squish barrels.
Yeah, if we
You
can
said
like
that
quickly.
to me.
Wait, we could use your axe, you know, just chop
No,
side
no.
of
Not-
chop us what? You don't want
We
to
can
chop
up
the
the,
side of that barrel?
We can
barrel
flatten the
lids.
barrel, and you can put that up to there. But we're not.
Alright. So you want it double thick then? Because I was thinking you cut it open and then you flatten it out and covers more ground, even though it's not as sturdy.
As you regard this plan, you think to yourself, it's the best use of the barrels that you have, but you can't do that well. And you look around, could you? You can try. You have the tools to do it. You have metal cutters and shit.
Alright, let's quickly flatten this barrel out. We're gonna weld it to the hole the best we can.
All right. Laz is gonna get to work bashing the hell out of this thing, get it as flat as I can.
You guys continue to do this. As the bus continues up the slope, the wind's pounding at the sides, you guys enact your plan. Pulling the barrel out, it shows a quick montage of you producing the tools and getting set to work. We're gonna go with... I don't know if that's really... Bear with me, gentlemen. No. Yeah, we'll go with this. As you guys continue to careen up the up this massive slope, Kumata holding the engine steady at a high RPM, the bus doing its best to, or a mid RPM, the bus doing its best in a near maximum gear, careening up the hill as the six tires send swaths of sand up all around, huge waves of it coasting down behind you as a lot of you set to work, pulling the barrel out and cutting it apart. Eddies turning to massive waves blasting on the side of the bus as the lot of you continue on. Kumata makes another roll against. He manages to hold it steady, although the whole of the place is a bit rattled. Nobody's thrown over. As the bus continues to careen upwards, you guys manage to get the barrel cut apart. And just as you do, you guys bring it into position to peer out the hole and see the massive conical shape of sand wrapping around, swirling in a huge cyclone as it sails up over the slope as if it is seeking you out. As the camera pans against the hull of the bus, showing Kumata the steady, then cuts the inside, or cuts to the one side, showing from the outside as you guys bring the barrel into position. And Barium, you can make me a quick check to get that shit done. It's going to be a dex check on your part. With proficiency, so you can effectively roll acrobatics for all that matters. Sorry, whatever you're proficient in. It's basically dexterity plus proficiency bonus. Sorry, you're not dex.
They're both the same. You got Dex would be 16 plus 3 proficiency, so 19.
Terrific stuff. You quickly and easily put down a few blots against the sides of this massive hunk of metal. As it satisfyingly finishes, where it seals off around the edges. You tack weld it into position, as it were. One after the next, the electrical bursts do their job. Each one arcing just so. The whole of the place echoes with the thunderous sound of the welding wand as it arcs off. And the blasts of sand suddenly stop. Oh, sorry. One other test. I'm assuming Laz is holding it in position. Sorry, I meant to get an
Yeah.
athletics check on your part to hold that shit in place.
Let's go, buddy. 17 plus 6, 23.
Totally legit then, 100%. As it were, gentlemen, you seal the
Nice.
hole excellently. You now have a pair of metal discs that were the top and bottom of the barrel, twisted off and thrown to the side. As it is, though, the stripped and spread out barrel seals up the hole ever so perfectly, reaching more or less from floor to ceiling. The hole, after a moment, goes completely sealed as Kumita shouts back, it's much quieter, huh? And Barium, there's still one more hole, and you can easily patch it with one of the ends of the barrel. And that's the smaller one that they got in through on the other side. So another one of the same rolls if you could, as you set to work on that. And Laz, you don't have to make any strength save for this, or strength check for this, it's fine. You just hold it in place for him as he goes to work.
That was 5 plus 3 is an 8.
That's fine. To your chagrin, as you weld upon the hull, you watch as it blasts away, making the hole bigger, and you realize it's already been weakened and chewed through by the little fuckers, not to mention chewed away by all the sand that's been blasting at the hole that they made to begin with. As you continue to roll along, doing your best to now patch it, I'm assuming, with another barrel. Yeah, no? Got an Joe?
What was that again?
You're gonna try to patch it in any other fashion? You have more barrels.
Well, yeah, if it's not done right, Barium wants it done right.
All right. You get
There's
yourself.
another-
Yeah, you get yourself into another montage as the massive cyclone whirls in towards you. And as it sails massive and swirling, swarthing along the dunes, golden and deadly, the promise of destruction within its funnel, you watch as it simply gains ground on your speeding position. You continue racing along, as you more or less helplessly are going to watch a cyclone come towards you for
If
about.
anybody's on the front, you might want to mention to Kumita. Does he see the cyclone?
He's
Really
just
wanna let
holding
him
on
know.
for dear life and racing as fast as, seemingly at a steady pace. He hasn't really noticed it, or if he has, he hasn't said anything about it.
And just to be clear, do all of us notice it?
Yep.
Except for him?
Yeah, everyone can see it very easily if they just look out the back.
That looks dangerous.
Kumita's attention pulls away from the horizon and looks behind. His eyes go wide. He looks forth. He refocuses himself a moment. He grabs a hold of the gears. Then he says, I don't know that I can push it any further.
I'll walk over to him and grab him by the shoulders and kind of massage him.
I don't know that I dare push it. If we
You must.
If we go any further, faster. Okay. He makes another roll, inspired by your dungeon master. And with that, he shifts down. Oh no, that's really not the soundboard, is it? He shifts down. The engine starts to scream louder as he puts the real juice through, you might say. Holding the hammer down steady, the whole of the bus jerks hard as the engine shouts out that it is alive with a new fervor. As the whole of the bus continues to hurtle forth at a new pace that you're not sure, but you think you can hear the engine having reached a new pitch altogether. Sand continues to billow up all around the bus, clattering against the undercarriage as you hurtle yourselves up as hard as the bus will carry itself upon the Diasius Valvalus's massive raw power. Huge amounts of fuel consumed. You start to, you start to notice that the cyclone is in fact not gaining any longer, but it is still coming at you. It must be, because it's not getting any smaller either. As this continues, Kumata shouts back, "We are running low on fuel. We will need a refuel. Quickly, barrels."
I'll look back at Laz. You had the man. Refuel. Come on now. Snap that. Let's go.
So you guys have an internal fuel access where you can dump barrels into to actually have, you can actually refuel mid-race while you're driving.
I'll go to the back and help Laz muscle a fuel barrel to the opening.
Hey Barry, you want to take a break from welding things while we open up a fuel canister inside of this small contained bomb we're living in? Just for a
Of
couple of
course. We have to get this done.
Is there anything you have to open? Is there a hatch?
It does have a large cover on it, and the technicians who designed it and installed it, they have basically it's a tank that has a valve on it, so it's sealed off from the regular circulation. So the regular tank is over.
Do we have anything to funnel this in?
You guys have hoses for it that you attach to the ends of them, and then you dump.
Orion being small.
No spill, baby. No spill. No muss, no fuss. It's just a matter of holding it in position, and that's all Laz has to do. Actually, anybody can really hold it in place. It's just you're going to have the easiest time because it's all strength, right? Point being, though, as you hear the globbles of the fuel begin to drain out of the barrel, one pump after the next, they find their way through the tube down into the fill tank. As you hold her steady and the bus continues to fly it as fast as it can up the slope, your man at the helm continues to hold on, just so, white knuckling it, his wide eyes pitched forth. He holds the bus as massive swaths of sand still blast against your hull. Your weld job still holding steady. The side of the bus still holds with the sands blasting against it. And as you continue up the slope, you think you can start to see the horizon, the crest of the hill.
Old man Talos won't take us.
With that, you guys come to a point where you guys come up to the top of you guys crest upon the hill more or less uneventfully as the barrel drains out. It shows you pop the hose off the end, and another empty barrel sits at the back of the bus as you open the release valve, and the fluids shunt into the main tank. No fumes, no mess, no muss, no fuss. The cyclone continues on for a little bit, passing by harmlessly as it continues on and heads off, comically slowly dissipating as it recedes away against the rising slope. The atmospherics becoming too much for its massive deadly stature, and before long, he watches all of its sands, all of its deadly power, simply ebbs into nothing. As the engine continues to pump away with a refueled tank, Kumata holds the high RPM steady as you continue forth. As you crest the hill, you can see many dunes undulating ahead of you, and you can once again also see in the vast distance the sparkling crystal blue waters of the ocean far and away, and the rising spires of a city far and away. As the bus continues to kick sand up all around, continues to careen along, you see off in the distant undulating flats familiar pathways, you should say roads after a fashion, sections of stone that have been flattened out, and moreover you see ridges and rising spires of rock, cliffs in the distance, and on the horizons more dunes spreading away as the desert continues unabated. As the Dionysius Valvulus continues to scream away, Kumata holding it high and steady, he begins to dial it back some, looking back towards the engine. He shouts to Barium, "We should probably let the engine have a little bit of a lower RPM time so we don't wear ourselves, huh? We don't want to blow our rods, blow our sails, blow everything, huh?"
Yeah, we don't get any bonus points for finishing any faster. As long as we're in the lead, that's all that matters.
I do not know where we are. I cannot see any of our competitors. I have not seen anybody for quite some time. I see their trails perhaps here, yes? Look ahead of you. We seem to be in perhaps, well, we can hope second, if not third.
There's no use worrying about it now.
As you continue along, Kumata then eventually says, "However, we are ahead of the Dragors, huh?"
That's music to my ears.
Look there. You see this? The camera pans against your faces as you might take attention to what he says, and staring at the windshield, the camera pulls back suddenly, and it shows a, you want to say, transport vehicle of some sort on fire. And you can see a bunch of crew situated outside it, you imagine. Silhouettes of them in the sand with a bunch of others situated around. You can see a large vessel somewhere nearby. And flying off a large, you want to say sailing mast of sorts that's been lowered, you can see a flag waving. It is large, blackened, and it has a long tail, it looks like. With that, you can see the flames and the smoke billowing off that vehicle in the distance. Its massive stature, clearly that of some sort of transport to take goods places. What are we doing? Kumata asks.
So we're passing a ship that's on, or a vehicle that's on fire.
It looks like. It's in the distance some ways.
But we are going to pass it at some point.
Yes.
So in theory, Bjorn could ready an action, and that sleet storm now may actually be a welcome.
They should put out their fire.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I don't think we want to stop, but that's kind of a nice gesture. Or it could hurt them either.
Are we nice now?
I thought we could like put them just so you could steal their stuff, but that works too.
Just like
I saw
icy rain all over them.
I saw we finished the leg.
Completely avoid them.
I mean, it depends if they're staying in the way or not. Just drive through them.
Never hurts to have friends out there on the race course. How
Honestly,
many of them? I mean,
it doesn't matter.
is this Dragors or is this we can't tell? Oh no, I can see like a mile away now, can't I, or some shit like that? I've got like some crazy eagle eyes. I gotta get up there, stick my head on the bus and see what the hell's going on.
Sounds fine. You see that it's not, in fact, a race vehicle of any sort at all. From what you can tell, it's very much not a race vehicle. It seems like, as I said, a transport vehicle for taking goods from one place to the next.
It could be a trap.
Man, I'm just relaying this information of what I see from sticking my head out to everybody in the bus. Like, this is what we're coming up on.
Are there any symbols upon it? Anything?
You absolutely.
Can I see anything in the either you said there was a mast? Can I see anything flying from it or any,
So,
any...
there's another vessel close by that it looks like a large. How can I put it? It looks like a large metal boat, if you will, but where it would have, like it's got a prow, but then where it would have a bow, like the rear end of it, is more set up of tank treads and whatnot, and it's still got a set of sails upon it, and you can see it's also got a pair of sort of skis sticking out the bottom end. With that said, it's situated some distance away, with its with its sail closed up, its flag waving high, and the other vehicle, the transport vehicle that you can see in flames, still has upon it the clearly visible crest of the of. Actually, you can roll me history.
Laz, are you telling us this as you see it? Like, are you
Yeah,
telling
I'm pretty much just telling you like the things that I'm seeing. Now, I mean, my history is crap, but I can tell you what I see. I don't know, like, I can probably describe the crest. I've got an 11 for history.
Can I base a roll off of his description of what he's saying because
Sure.
I have a really good history?
That's fine. He describes it as a military crest and gives you the details. It's enough that you, a military-looking crest, but then he describes the details, to which you come with a history check of.
$11. Yeah, that's +6 too.
It may happen to be our friends from the Thieves Guild. If you do recall, they do owe us a vessel of the sorts with a mast.
With that said,
Pirates.
you guys all don't recognize the crest, or sorry, both of you do not recognize the crest. Anybody else care to make a roll?
I will, yeah. I'll take it.
Are you proficient in history?
Oh, no, I'm not proficient in history.
You can roll it at disadvantage.
Okay. Oh, that's a 7, and that's a 3. All right. So,
It's got a wheat
They're
stuck in
all
a
dumb as
who's.
fuck.
Anyway, so
I believe this all Laz's inability. He's like, it's a bird. It's got like yellow things.
Yeah, let's just blame it on Laz's description.
So Orion literally cannot hear anything that was said over the sound of the Decius Valvulus screaming in his ear. With that said, though, what do you do? What do you do now? What are you gonna do? Kumata asks, "Are we passing them by? They look like they're in trouble. Those are pirates, are they not? Look at them."
Laz, get out of the way. Let me see if it's our friends at the guild. Lift me up there.
Yeah, throw him up there.
Okay. With that said,
Yeah, I'll let
Throw me,
Laz lift me up to this.
throw me perception.
Okay. Perception. Come on. God damn. 6? What the fuck?
No luck in them rolls tonight, eh, boys?
Huh. Nope.
All right, very
Can I
good.
roll again?
As you stare forth, You feel like you've seen it before, but damned if you can recognize it. But I will give this to you: it's not the Thieves Guild
Okay.
that you think it might be. It's not them.
It doesn't appear to be our friends from the Thieves Guild, but it could be a good opportunity to salvage a new vessel.
The one that's on fire?
Hey,
The one that's on fire?
Yeah, well, you know, if we
Well, hold on, no, there's one that's on fire, and then there's the other one that's got the prow with the skis and the tank treads and the right. Isn't that they were said there were two, right?
Yeah, that's the Black Dragons. Look at their flag. Kumata waves towards them, and Orion, you can make me a history check at advantage.
God damn, okay, 11.
Jesus, we are fucking.
That's 3.
We're
Now
not
we just have to stop and fight. It's gotta be like, who the fuck are you? Just tell us.
That's 3 11s in as many tries for history.
And
That's
if we were
fucked
smart,
up.
we wouldn't be in this bus.
So, this particular pirate crew, you have had run-ins with them when you were a pirate on the open sea. You had heard that they had opened up themselves to new horizons, and that they had taken on a sand vessel, but you didn't know which region they were in. You now know which region they're in.
It appears it's some old acquaintances from the high seas are now in the high sands. I would suggest we stay away from them unless we want to get in a little tussle and battle over some booty. But other than that, we can keep going, whatever you prefer.
Challenge-wise, you've known them to be fairly tough, but no tougher than your own crews. That said, they're typically decently armed, but they've never been able to really get the good stuff down. Looking at their massive sand vessel, you're not sure if they have or haven't. You don't know too much when it comes to sand ships as such. But sorry, Barry, you were going to say something?
I vote no. We need to finish this leg.
If you say so, Barian, they're not the most tough foes. They're kind of a scraggly pack of pirates. Bjorn might want to take them on, seeing as how he's a holy man and these rapscallions should be walking the plank. But I'll leave it up to you guys.
Laz is just gonna start climbing the stairs and go load the cannon.
Sounds good. Laz does
Just
so.
in case.
As you guys are talking to Laz, you can already see his ass going up the fucking ladder, and there's like the squeak of the hatch as bright light splashes down through the hole. Sand and wind whips against you in a familiar fashion as you leave the sanctity of the bus and head out onto the rooftop once again.
Sorth is gonna use cure wounds on himself.
You do
Start
so.
licking my own wounds.
I say pirates and spit and climb up after Laz.
Sounds good. Valkyr smiles upon you as the rays of the sun wash warm on your skin, and a moment later the open whipping winds feel familiar, as they should. Sorth here heals himself a bunch, giving himself oh, that's really not the right soundboard. Giving himself a little personal love as you bring yourself to whatever your hit point total is now. From
Yeah, it's a
there,
14 total.
whom else is doing what? I think that's everybody except Badium.
I guess if you can't beat him, you join him.
What is Badium doing then?
I think
What are you
for
gonna do,
now.
jump ship?
No, I think for now I'm gonna stay near Kumata, and once things get going, I'll head up the hatch.
Is
Are we upon them now, or?
No, they're a bit of a distance away still, as a matter of fact. As you guys continue along the dunes, you can see that they're quite a ways away, and you're approaching them fast, you know. You'll be there in a round or two. They seem to be reacting as you look towards them. Each of you focusing your eyes as hard as you can. Did I miss anybody in the actions? Was there anybody left behind there? Sorry. Everybody get their shit in? I don't think I missed anybody.
I'll ready my pistol for a shot.
Okay, very good. You can see that they're reacting at this point. Several of the individuals standing around start running towards outcropping piles of rock that jut from the horizon. That all said, Kumata continues to hold it steady without issue, and from there we watch as the peoples line themselves up, but you guys aren't in range of them. You're coming to about 160 feet. The bus travels at full tilt to what did I work out for? It's a couple hundred feet around, but that said, you guys are just south of 200 feet away from these guys, and hurtling fast towards them as Kumata's still got it pitched and pinned. As you guys careen across the open flats, the bus is also doing like a little bit of a up and down undulation as it goes over the wind-swept dunes here. So as I said, you can see the flaming form in the distance. You guys are lining up. Next round, you will have you will be more or less upon these guys or passing by them, as it just so happens the road goes right past them. Go figure. Anybody setting up anything else? Or are you guys going to hold to what you had?
Sortha's gonna go up top and ready in action.
Sounds good. So at this point, we've got Sorth, Bjorn, Laz, all up on top, yes?
And Orion.
Oh, you're up too? Okay.
We're not throwing out mouthpiece.
That's captain to you.
You're still inside their barium, so
Yep.
very good.
The mouth just makes him a target.
Can we see the end of the leg from here?
No. No, you cannot.
How do we want to approach this?
You can, at times, as you rise and fall on the dunes here, at times you can see the little bit of blue sparkling far and away in the horizon as the ocean spreads away. But then it's quickly hidden away by the aggressive and foreboding dunes all around as you continue to sweep through them, making your way up towards and hopefully past unabated. But much to your chagrin, as you continue in towards them, they start to open fire. From behind their outcropping bits of rock, from cover, they fire sniper shots with long-barreled rifles that I cannot fucking remember the damage on. Sorry. Two D10. Oh, that's
got any potions?
oh, very nice.
I do have potions. Who's getting lit up here? Is this me?
Yeah.
9 points of damage sail away from the first shot. Sorry. 12 plus 6 for 18 against your AC, which means that the bullet just barely misses you as it sails past Laz, hurtling away, harmlessly hitting the sands behind you. A second shot rings out a moment later, this one for 18 plus bonus. This one, actually, I'm going to use both of these dice because I was just given them. And 6 points of damage exploding against as the simple wound blasts your hemoglobin splattering over onto the cannon as you close the distance upon it. With that said, the second guy opens fire, taking 2 quick shots. The first one is going to miss, and the second one is going to miss terribly. And finally, the last guy is a 14 plus bonus and a 12 plus bonus. 14 plus bonus is 20, math 20, and 12 is 18 versus. And this will be upon Sorth, you lucky bugger.
Actually, my AC is 16.
20 and 18 was the call.
Okay.
But you're not the only one getting shot here, lucky you. Bjorn's going to take the 20, just because I say so. Wait, what's your AC? Hang on a sec. Do I hit you?
Mine's 20.
Oh, okay, thank fuck. Thought you had 22 for a moment. That's only with your funky do going on. Anyway, with that said, fuck. 2 damage Sorth takes.
Sweet.
I'll do better next time.
Ow.
Yeah, see, I told you I'd do better. 11 damage, Bjorn. Yeah, baby. As 2 shots crack out from the distance, thundering over the horizon, you are pierced by painful shots of flying gods knows what. Lead passing through your metal, your armor and body as they ricochet through and out the other side easily enough. Continuing to careen along, that's it for my dudes shooting. The all of the dudes, all of the silhouettes of the people that were on the horizon being crouched down, you can now see as people, crew people, that are still being held down by the few that are holding them at gunpoint, and they're all sort of marching away towards cover behind the flaming vessel. And as you guys race in towards the flaming vessel, the crest becoming apparent. You can see cargo boxes and whatnot littered around in the dunes, clearly having been taken apart. And you can see in the distance several individuals rushing away from this whole scene, running towards the large vessel that sits with its sail up in the distance. With that said, Kumata shouts about, "What are we doing? Shall I continue?"
They opened fire on us. I think not. I think we have to lay these roaches down.
As the camera
Also,
pans
Bjorn,
against your
Hey,
face.
Laz is gonna yell down. You know, get the bus between us and where that fire's coming from. And Laz is gonna load a cannon out to get a shot off towards wherever. You know, you said they were all in a group, or they're in 2 spots, 1 spot. The 3 guys that shot at us.
So there's, at this point, 3 groups happening. You have a bunch of dudes situated behind rock outcroppings, taking shots with long-range rifles. You have the group of hostages, and then the group of dudes who are holding them hostages and running them to cover just on the other side of the flaming vessel.
I'll yell down to bury him.
Oh, sorry. And then you have another group of individuals who are rushing off towards the main vessel. The actual, like, still good vessel with a black flag flying and all that.
Bury him. Bury. It appears they have hostages. Now, I know you're a good person. You'd probably want to save these individuals, so you better get your ass up here. Well, Sorth and I make sure they don't get back to their vessel.
Yeah, I guess I better help so this doesn't take longer.
I'll look over to Sorth. Will you be joining me, my friend? We can't let them get to their vessel without being abated.
With pleasure.
And with that,
Are we nearby them at all yet, or are we still kind of?
you're more or less you're coming upon them as you guys are making this decision.
Okay, I will get. I'll yell at the driver to. Or what did Laz say? Laz was telling the driver to do something.
No, I just said we got to get cover from these shots. So my hope is, if you're heading towards trying to cut off the guys that are heading for the good vehicle, try and get up close to it so we can make sure that wherever
Yeah.
they're firing from, we have some cover to get behind. Because I'm going to take a pot shot with the cannon to try and keep them down, and then get out to help you guys out. That's my because we got to get on top of them soon. So
Yeah, I'll yell down through the hole at the driver to try and pull us in as close as they can to that other vessel, so Sorth and I can jump off.
Okay, so at this point you are getting yourself set to what?
I'm getting ready to jump and roll off the vessel as we pass by the other vessel.
Okay. While it's speeding, like at full send?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and like do the tuck and roll.
At full send into the sand?
Okay, neck incoming.
What do you think, you're Scrooge McDuck into the dollars? Like, okay.
I'm really proficient in acrobatics. I'm pretty confident.
Wait, I think you're underestimating how fast this bus goes.
This
Oh,
bus
okay, well,
this bus is currently
Okay,
hurtling
I'll-
along at easily 150 miles an hour.
okay, I'll
This
ask
was
him
a
to gear it
master
down a little
crafted
bit.
bus.
I'll ask him to like gear it down and do like a burnout, like Fast and Furious style, where it goes slow mo and the people jump out of the car or whatever.
Don't forget you have your airframe too, right?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Actually, it takes time to set that up. You don't have enough time.
Yeah.
To do that. All right, buddy. So tuck and roll it is as you shout to Kumata to do some tactical shit to make it so you can tuck and roll off this thing, and he shouts back, "What?" And then he makes a roll, and it's gonna be a whatever roll. Are you gonna trust it?
Yeah.
It's time to go, you tell yourself, and you leap just in the right moment as you hear music. No, you don't. I'm kidding. It's really over before anybody can say anything. Kumata suddenly downshifts as nobody. No, those are not the fucking sound effects. Hold on a sec. Let me get the correct ones here. And here we go. It's gonna be that shit right there. As he gears down one shot after the next, the whole of the bus suddenly finds itself tuning down, coming into a slow before kicking it up a notch as he rapidly carries it up through the gears. You leap off on his 17 plus bonus driving with your acrobatics of what?
Well, before I leap, I'm gonna look over to Sorth to see if he's ready to go, and I'm gonna leap for a whopping 11. That's a +7 at advantage.
You
What?
leap.
Jesus Christ.
You leap with the velocity that you misjudge. Your acrobatics taking over best you can as you land unceremoniously in the sand down below, having taken a full 7 points of damage in the fall.
oh god.
Seeing what happened to Ryan, I don't jump.
You guys watch as he acrobatically tumbles end over end with the velocity carried forth. While Kumata expertly decelerated to probably about 50 miles, maybe 40 miles an hour before suddenly kicking up. That's still 70 kilometers an hour. That's still quite fast. That's still a little meatball flying through the air and just boof into the sand. So 7 points of damage is not bad as you skiff unexpectedly against the sand, coming to a slow, grinding, and painful halt. Your face is somewhat cut up from the biting sands all around as you as you get to your feet easily enough. The bus beginning to careen away. Sorth doesn't leap off.
No, not this time.
I'll
cover you from up high.
As the bus continues past. Sorry, yes.
Sorry, seeing that Sorth didn't leap, I'll jump after him.
Throw me throw me an acrobatics for the fall.
Nice and even, 10.
Very nice. You surprisingly get a better bit of fate as Valcor watches out for you leaping from the bus just so, you manage to catch hold of a dune slope passing by and find yourself rolling rather harmlessly down the other side as your velocity is eaten away. However, 3 damage you still take from the end-over-end action, cutting into you as you wear full armor after all. Your candy canes reflecting beautifully in the sun as they're scratched up on the sand, although their magical carapace, I guess, doesn't really scratch too badly. It's probably scratch resistant, is what it is. Buff that shit regularly, it'll hold. But that said, you come to a sliding and slowing halt, probably about 50 feet away from your companion, and as the bus careens around, Kumata makes a decision and pulls the bus around. And with that, starts to encircle the flaming vessel as you guys see the many armed individuals in the center and the few folk being rustled into what looks like a little transport wagon, a small one that would fit inside the main vessel. You see several strange things, metallic and reflecting, nearby. Bulbous in their sort, you can see they have handles, seats, sleek forms, and large bulbous turbines mounted underneath. As they hold on some sort of levitation, they float just so as each of the individuals relieved from hoisting hostages into the transport van then start to leap aboard each of these what look to be the size of horses, but are in fact engine-driven individual vessels. As one after the next, these distant turbines wind to life. You watch as, using the handles, they steer themselves in, floating just a few feet above the sands, as massive rooster tails start to echo and rise off behind them.
Are they pulling away with the transport?
No, these guys are coming in towards you guys in the bus.
Seems
With
like a
that,
good use for the cannon.
the camera cuts to a couple of the snipers who are loading, and the one who is eyeing down towards our man Bjorn and Orion in the sands. The camera then cuts to the striped armor of your stoic stature, standing some close distance in a sort of extreme focal perspective, if you will, with Orion in the distance, but very close to you, if you will, as you guys face down against the several snipers nearby, the flaming vessel, and you see the bus in the distance, like roasting around, as you suddenly hear the wine explode from the other side of the flaming vessel, and several of these oh my gosh, what are we calling them? Sand bikes, basically, come out from behind the vessel and roast in towards the bus in the distance. One after the next, the 3 of them flying through space as the camera cuts against them and you guys, and then shows the whole of the situation from above, and then cuts to black and starts to roll credits.
You guys always getting us into trouble.
I was just preparing. I wasn't telling anybody to go out and do stuff.
They attacked us first.
We got to get somebody on their bus real quick.
Mm-hmm. Well, I feel like you melee people can do that.
Well, then,
I'll wake up.
So then, are you gonna take on the guys that are taking pot shots at you and ripping holes in you and Bjorn?
Damn right.
How much health you got left?
It wasn't enough to jump off the vehicle. Let's put it that way. Die before I hit the ground.
Lads, I'd like to mention that, while we were approaching them and I had mentioned the potions, you had actually handed me one, right?
But I don't remember that. Yeah, I really don't remember that.
Laz has learned to be very stingy with his potions.
Hey, Cody, roll deception.
Oh boy.
But I think the DM has like plus 20 insight, so.
As the credits begin to roll, Sean again, what'd you like, what'd you hate, was it purpose least?
No, this was a blast. This was actually a ton of fun. I enjoy trying to figure out how to make decisions about whether or not to risk taking off a leg or two, and how to make the choices about what to do with this group. Hopefully this turns into us having an armada, and that would be fun. Or we could all just end up dead because people are taking pot shots at us. But I'm sure a couple of guys on our bus would like to get a hold of some of those weapons. So this will be interesting. I'm excited.
Right on. Jabransky, what'd you like, what'd you hate, was it least?
I liked how much of a struggle it was for Sorth all this entire campaign. All of his food's gone. He got eaten by bugs. Like, he just couldn't catch a break this whole run. I loved it.
It's a character building exercise.
Exactly. I like this final engagement. I think it's gonna be fun to do this whole rescue operation with sand pirates. It's a complete different turn for us. Usually we're the ones causing mayhem, and now we're like, hey, we'll be the good guys for a change.
I thought that'd be a nice switch. And no, I wasn't sourcing ideas, but this is a good one. That's why I had it. I totally had it first. But I'm glad everybody appreciates that so far. So far, so good. Yeah. And that was you? Yeah?
Yeah, I loved everything about it. There was nothing I didn't like.
And Barium's shut off. I guess he's going to go bye-bye. Okay, bye, Barium.
No, I'll come back.
Oh, you're there? All right.
Wait, one sec.
Ricker?
Yeah, I was just turning that off.
Ah, I got
Changing
you.
faces.
What'd you like? What'd you hate? Was your part was the least?
I like the chaos, I don't know, the last few sessions, it's like, ever since the race started, I guess, it's like, nothing's been straightforward. There's always, something wild happening. Like, you have this storm, and you have the bugs coming out of nowhere after the meet, and, everything was just chaotic. It's like it was out of our control, no matter how we struggled and squirmed. And we had to, it's like it was like a desperation thing to get rid of the damn bugs. And then the Dragors were breathing down our back the whole time, and just everything was odd. It's like edge of your seat kind of chaos, I think. And I enjoyed Sorth's suffering. No offense, that was just funny. And also, piloting the bus was a lot of fun. I think it was, and I believe as far as character development goes, something that would be a struggle for Barium to give up in the long run.
Fair enough.
Because he finally got to, pilot his baby a little bit in action.
And here we are now. Right on. Hey, Cody, what'd you like? What'd you hate? Was the least?
I really liked the transition from one event to another in this one. It's very smooth. And I liked the different obstacles we had to get through. I don't know if there was various paths we could have taken, but it seemed like, the obstacles were well laid out. 1 minute we're focusing on driving, the next we're focusing on, okay, now we got this hole in the vessel here. How do we deal with that? Oh, okay, we got this burning vessel in the distance and the cyclone behind us, and what do we do? Where are the Dragors? All these questions kind of spinning. How far away are we from the end of the race? Or the end of the leg, I guess. And yeah, no, it was really good. No complaints.
Fair enough. And finally, summary. What'd you like? What'd you hate? Was it the least?
Yeah, expanding a bit on what Cody said there. I feel like this leg of the race has felt a lot more dangerous than the first. and there's been a lot more obstacles, and it's the combat we've done the last couple of sessions has been like really visceral, but still funny with like the meat cannons and the bugs and all that. It's really been enjoyable. And then the setup with the pirates at the end has me intrigued. See if we can fight off the Tuscan Raiders.
Pretty much, yeah. Actually, what can I say? Sand people.
Yeah.
But right on. I like the pacing of this one. I liked that it was more of a slog. I wanted to get through a bunch of different ideas that I had come up with for this leg. The twister was kind of a last minute thought to throw in as kind of a cap. I thought it was a nice finishing touch. Like you were saying there, it's just the helplessness of the situation. Despite your best efforts, all you can do is hope. And it worked out. Your pilot made his roll. He managed to pitch the engine. And if it wasn't that, you guys would have done something about it, rip them off and make the check yourself, that sort of thing. But in the meantime, yeah, refueling during the race and whatnot, that was cool. I liked how everybody is working together. Everybody's figuring something to do. Everybody's always being proactive, and that really lends to the fact that you guys survive these things clearly. I especially liked, effectively, there's this whole kind of, you're a ship at sea, obviously. You got the hole in the hull, and there's waves of sand billowing in, and all that's there. But then hold on, it gets better. You're literally scooping meat and throwing it out, kind of like you're bailing meat out of the ship so that you don't sink in it. You know what I mean? So there's all these crazy similes, and I love it. Throughout the whole of this episode specifically, there have been, and that's been a lot of fun too. And then, of course, the pirates at the end, totally my idea. Totally didn't get it from the chat. Totally came up with it originally. All myself. Totally. Is going to be something interesting to develop and see where that goes. And then finally we're going to get to Teshburl, which is a whole other thing. And I did somewhat intend to get to the naval city now. This original totally meant to do it idea of mine is totally not supposed to waylay you guys so that Benny can be here for that part at all, because this was totally my idea that I came up with all myself just for you guys, totally not to waylay you so Benny could be here for the next part. But I'm excited for that part especially. Everybody takes another we'll say 1,100. No, we'll give you guys another 1,300 experience this session because you guys did so great working together. Not to mention, you guys are pulling over to save people. Who would have thought the sand kraken, jumping from a vessel to save some lowly merchants from pirates of all things?
I don't think this is altruistic. I think this is more press ganging another boat in their service.
They're trading one set of pirates for another.
It's hard to get loot out here because you blow shit up and then it's like gone. So you gotta take it where you can get it.
I have to admit, your philosophy is not wrong. This is not you're not mistaken in the slightest.
I recognize this all too well. This is just like Apex Legends. This is third partying. That's what Cody's doing.
Yeah, there you go. We're coming in on them. They're all half health. They're like, shit.
Yep.
Fair enough. All
Where's
right.
your grenades at, dude?
Yeah. I'm ready.
So with that,
interesting. Cody's gonna try and enslave them, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
No.
We just offer him a job.
Yeah, the guys we
They can man the
saved.
second shift.
Man, the second shift.
Your
Join us in the
ship's
race.
gone.
I'm evil, but I'm not like sometimes I'm that evil. But
How do we break up the party though? That's gonna be the hard part. Who's gonna be commanding the other vessel?
Bjorn needs a vessel. Look at the guy.
Yeah.
That'd be sick, actually, having two vessels. Something to think about.
there's all sorts of possibilities. If you could take the pirate ship down, that'd be pretty cool. Maybe you can put out the fire and get at whatever there's left inside the merchant's vessel. Who's to
Yeah,
say?
exactly.
See, I stormed.
Yeah.
I told you. I had a right idea.
Yeah, I could put that in for sure.
Yeah? Is that what you intend to do next turn? Next round? Or, I mean, next session?
No, I probably will put a fog cloud on myself so I don't get murdered by these snipers.
Fair enough.
Ignore the shining red and white beacon in the middle of the fog cloud because you blend so well.
Rudolph over there.
So, in the after credits scene, it says, next time on Black Thumb, and there's a dark space, and we just see flickering flames against the black silhouette. Against the black silhouette around it, and we can see the flames reflected in the surface of this black silhouette situated in the center of it all. It's a black room just on fire, it looks like. You can see like little bits of reflections of metal that would be the floor and the ceiling, but otherwise it's just a room on fire. And as the blaze is hot and twisting orange and white all around, you can see the reflections in the shape of something large, metallic, something with a pair of large headers and several pipes coming down off it. You can see its golden stature situated here in this place as sparks fall down all around, as bits of melted metal drip from the ceiling, as in the background bits of crates seem to crumble and fall apart.
Oh!
And as the camera pans against, slowly as dollying in upon this, it suddenly cuts to black.
God damn it, the loot's burning. Fuck.
And with that said,
Sounds
gentlemen, it has been my pleasure to have you along. You fantastic players who are my palette of personalities that is a plethora of wonderfulness. With that said, my pleasure to be your host, your Dungeon Master, and your entertainer. Another fantastic experience with Black Thumb in the bag. Everybody had fun?
Oh yeah.
Very much so.
Terrific. And with that, I thank you very much. If you like what you see, we stream every Monday from 7:30-ish, somewhere in there, until whenever we finish, which tonight is about now. Until next time, your 20s always land on 20. Have yourselves a great week.
Have a good night.
Thanks,
Good
Will.
night, everyone.
Great session, guys.
Cheers all.
Night.
Mhm.